Farm Share. Darlene here with week 8. What is in my Farm Share bag? We're going to start with cherry tomatoes. So I believe everyone got cherry tomatoes this week. These are farm candy. Again, as I've talked about before, store on the counter. I just put them in a bowl so that way as the season goes they'll start to split more just from heat or moisture content in the soil, although it's getting really dry out. Just keep those in a bowl, and that way you can kind of monitor which ones are the ripest and just snack on them that way. I did use these on Father's Day for a beautiful pico de gallo, which actually leads me into some of the next items in your bag. You might have cilantro left from your sampler last week. Use cilantro, tomatoes, you've got a jalapeno in your Farm Share, and then you can use scallions or a white onion or even red onion. And then I just do a little sea salt, and if you have a lime you can add a little bit of splash of lime, but I just cut that up and stir it in a bowl. It makes the best fresh salsa. I don't have to do anything fancy, any equipment or food processor or anything like that. So it works really perfect. I actually made it twice on Father's Day. We did a hash, so I did we did like a breakfast hash bar. So I did potatoes and sweet potatoes, and I chopped those up and sauteed those. And then another pan I did mushrooms and green pepper. And then in another pan I did zucchini, and then we had the pico de gallo, and then we had fried eggs or bacon meat that you wanted to add to it. And everybody could kind of design their own breakfast hash on their plate. So that was kind of fun. But I cannot get enough of the pico de gallo. So in addition to your cherry tomatoes, we are working on getting everybody our slicers. When I store these, I just store them upside down on the countertop. Depending on if it, there's my lunch. If the top's on there or not, you can break that off, and that way it sits flat on the counter, and then it doesn't smash or wilt this bottom part, because generally you're going to cut that top part off anyway. So those are going to sit out on your counter. You'll know by the softness of them when they are ready to eat. Some of them we try to maybe give you one that needs to ripen a little bit, two that are ready, just to kind of space them out throughout your week so you don't feel like you've got a ton of produce that has to be used all at once. So there are your tomatoes. Let's see here. Thoughts on pico de gallo? Okay, great. You have dill, and you should have received my attachment, I think, on Tuesday for our refrigerator dill pickle recipe, our farmhouse recipe. We absolutely love it. Again, we use that for everything. So if you have extra radishes, extra cucumbers, extra onions, extra sweet salad turnips, something like that, you can use that recipe to pickle any of these things, and that takes it and preserves it for about 3 months in the refrigerator. So it really helps you space that out, and it is actually really simple. I've done cauliflower and broccoli before, so you can make that brine up and cut all, have your onions and dill and things like that ready, and just make a huge batch and do different jars of all of your produce that you might have extra of. So in this bag here, you got scallions and sweet salad turnips. Again, those are really good pickled also. Scallions you can use in place of white onion in your pickles or in your pico de gallo. So a couple big options to use up a lot of that here and give you more variety. So this week, we are also mixing in shishito peppers. So if you didn't get slicing tomatoes, you were to get shishito peppers. We don't grow an abundance of those, but we do. So those will take a little while for everyone to get through. Those are a frying pepper, so they're a nice little small green pepper. You heat your cast iron up really hot, add some oil. We use our farm lard, and then you throw those peppers in, and just with tongs blister them so they're blistered on all of the sides. Once they're blistered, turn the heat off. They'll have poofed up usually, and then they'll kind of shrink back down. Sprinkle with some sea salt, and you just hold the stem and you can eat the whole thing. So they're like a nice appetizer, or if we do a stir-fry platter, I'll put a couple around everybody's plate. If you go to like Prosino or something like that, one of those bougie, up new and coming restaurants, they love, like, you'll have fried shishitos on the appetizers. So that is an option for those. Some people will make an aioli, like a garlic or dill aioli, and drizzle that over those fried shishitos, or even a teriyaki sauce is really good too. The next item you have in your farm share is green beans. If you started to get them last week or this week, we were trying to get everybody the round green beans, and then we also have the northeasters. I have lost them, which look like this, that long flat green bean. So you will have either rounds or flats. I think in a previous video I talked about the flat green beans, blistering them and then steaming. My kids just go crazy over those. You have your jalapeno. You have 3 cucumbers, so this should be enough. Usually for that recipe, it usually takes about, depending on the size of the cucumber, 1 to 2 cucumbers per jar of cucumbers. So you should end up with a couple jars there. You have either kale or radish. So we did radish on Tuesday, and then we had this beautiful harvest of kale midweek, so we wanted to make sure we got that fresh to everyone. So you, depending on what day, you've got either kale or radish. And then you have your zucchini, so yellow and green zucchini. We made zucchini bread this week in our family, and the kids have absolutely loved that. We use a recipe that's for moms that's less than healthy, but really sweet and tasty. Any other recommendations? I had the pico de gallo, the pickles. I think that was everything I had to give you guys. Take care.